Hello, this is Nick from ReviewOutlaw.com. Today I want to take you castle hopping in Ireland along with me. So we start off the trip in Dublin, flying in from the United States, Rhode Island. It's a direct flight, which is great. And so basically, I didn't rent a car in Dublin. It's a lot of good public transportation, the bus system, different things like that. But we stayed in Temple Bar, which is an area. There's multiple bars in the area. One thing to be careful about is make sure that you keep a close eye on your luggage. We tried to steal our luggage when I was going to get a rental car, so be careful about that. And that was the middle of the day. Next place that once we got the rental car, we headed over to this castle here. I'm not going to say any of the castle names because I'll definitely screw it up. But we went to this castle here, which was really cool. It's an older castle. We were able to sleep in this castle. It was about 5 flights of stairs to get up. They had some really nice food there, really nice area around that hole. You can hike and walk around, and some horseback riding, things like that. One thing that was a bit strange was the shower. This shower, you actually had to sit down in the tub to take a shower, which is really strange. But overall, this was like kind of the first old castle that we took a look at. And this is one of my favorite places to stay. This is just some of the areas around. It's just beautiful scenery around a different place. So then we took off and we started driving. Basically, we're going to the west side of Ireland. You kind of cut through the middle. And this is one of the castles we saw on the way. You weren't actually able to go inside of it. You could hike around it, and there's a little parking area and a little town pretty close to here. But you can kind of hike around this one. This wasn't open the day that we were actually there, so I just ended up taking my drone and flying it around a bit. So next up, we have Ashford Castle. This is probably one of the most fanciest castles that we saw. Very high-end, very lavish. We didn't stay in the actual castle itself. We stayed as something called the Lodge, which is basically very close to, right next to the castle. And I mean, a lot less money, but still you could walk the castle. We had dinner there one night. If you do stay at Ashford Castle, one of the restaurants does require like formal attire, so just be aware of that. But they have a couple different restaurants around in that area. Also driving around Ireland, just be aware it's super tight, really small roads, and from the United States you're driving the opposite side of the road, which takes a little bit to get used to, that depth perception, but once you get used to it, it's not too bad. It's kind of fun. So this is the Cliffs of Moray, and the cliffs are really fun. Probably one of the funnest things that we saw. Huge just drop in the cliffs. I was flying my drone over there, and you're actually not supposed to fly drones, so I had to walk pretty far away from the crowds. But the wind was really, really, really blowing, and I actually almost lost my drone because it kind of blew way out of where I wanted it to go. And I'm used to flying this drone in like 30-mile-per-hour winds with kiteboarding and stuff like that, but this was pretty unique. Now, as you can tell, the edge here, we're walking on the outer edge. The inner edge just was full of mud, so there's people walking inside and outside, but you could easily slip and kind of fall and pretty much die. And there is actually signs of warning that people have died hiking this. You know, if you get a quick flood or a quick rain, you got to be really careful. And all the times, this kind of earth here gives way sometimes and just kind of swoops you into the ocean. So there are a lot of people hiking this, and this is pretty much straight down. I mean, there's nothing really protecting you from falling in there, so just be aware of that. But overall, I think this is one of my most beautiful places we saw in Ireland. And as I was saying before with the drone, I kind of almost lost control of it. I just barely got it back. I had about 30 seconds left of battery life when I actually pulled it in to the land, so I was super stressed out flying the drone around this area, but luckily I was able to recover it. So this castle here we did not stay at. We did drop in. They had some like tea time. You can have some tea and and biscuits and crackers or whatever like that. But it was kind of just neat to walk around the castle. They have some nice grounds around here too, very well kept up. You can stay at this castle. This is one that you can, as like a hotel built in. Not all of the castles in Ireland you can stay in, so you kind of have to look online. I went to hotels.com to get a lot of my castle kind of hotels and read the reviews. It can get pretty pricey depending which one you're staying. So some of them you might want to just kind of check out, where you definitely at least want to stay in one or two, but just depending on your budget, kind of keep that in mind, as some can go up over $1,000 a night. Some of them are 150, 200 bucks a night. It usually depends on how old the castle is and what they have for features and amenities. So this was actually one of the oldest castles we saw here. This one dates back to like the 1500s, and you can tell that everything was really authentic, really small doorways, and everything to get through was really tight. I mean, back then they must have been pretty short, and everything was kind of very compact, but this was like truly authentic. Now around this castle, there's actually a whole town where they have animals and kind of some historic information, and there's food and things like that. So it's a pretty much all day kind of thing when you go to this place. You do pay to get in, but it's pretty much you're kind of spending the whole day doing this. And there's also like a themed night where you can sit in here in the castle and you have dinner, and it's kind of like a old they tell tales and stuff like that. So that's something we didn't do, but it'd be pretty interesting if you were around and you wanted some dinner. You could check the dinner out in the castle. But overall, the castle hopping in Ireland was awesome. Definitely recommend it if you've never seen a castle or been in a castle. This was the first time we actually stayed in a castle before, and I thought it was amazing. I would definitely love to check out some of the other castles in England and Scotland, things like that, and compare that to Ireland just to see what the difference is. But overall, super fun trip. Highly recommend it. If I missed any castles, you have any other things you guys want to see, let me know in the comments. Thanks.
Hey guys, thanks for watching our video. If you have time, please subscribe to my channel, click here to watch more videos, or please give me a thumbs up. Thanks!